We are good. It's not recording. Now. Alright.
Welcome to Dumplings and Somethings, a show where two guys discuss the dumplings in life and you learn something. I'm on mic one. I'm Danzy, Danz Millie, Darnell, for some people who don't know that. And on mic two, we have... Introduce yourself,
Mr.
buddy.
Mr. T. I am... The reason why people call me Mr. T is because my family name is Chai.
My friend Yuki.
Cool, how am I doing? Doing great. We are supposed to talk about something.
We're going to talk about something, don't worry about it. We ask you to bear with us. We are constantly learning how to use these microphones and this software and this camera situation. So that's nice, guys. Yeah, so over this weekend, my friend, or when the audience will be seeing this would be the 31st of August, and this would be the independence of both of our countries.
Is it the weekend? Almost, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. And we want to talk about Trinidad and Tobago and Malaysia.
And Malaysia.
Yeah.
You're right.
You are from Malaysia. I'm from Trinidad. No, go figure. And both of our countries share the same Independence Day, the 31st of August. And from the little history I know about Malaysia, you told me that it was once colonized by the British.
Yeah.
Same with us. But like before British colonization, you guys had any other before?
If I do recall, probably Portuguese.
Portuguese.
But Japanese, significantly, yes.
Yeah?
Japanese.
Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but you know what I mean.
Some Japanese.
By us, we had before the British, it was first the Spanish, and then the French,
Right.
and then the British. There was a little bit of Dutch in there, and a little bit of German as well in Tobago. But those are the three main players.
Complex history.
Yeah, and through that history, bro, honestly, in the Caribbean, I can only speak for the Caribbean at least, we have so much different mixes. I was talking about food, of cultures, of people, because of that time. And foods, for example. This is a podcast about food.
Yes.
And
Not forgetting
just food.
food.
Food and talking.
Although we don't necessarily have food at the moment, but we talk about food.
Yeah, today I'm just not feeling it, bro. It's tired.
We have had a long night.
You said you went dancing.
Oh yeah, I did. Had a little
Tell me about
company reunion, and yeah. Some of the colleagues suggested clubbing, so end up in the club, and
You went dancing with your cool, because first things first.
yeah,
I wouldn't even feel comfortable going dancing with my coworkers.
Neither do I.
No?
Do I. It's just such a strange thing.
It's. I mean, if you have those cool coworkers that are like your people, you have like one or two coworkers that are
Yeah.
like your people / friend.
Yeah.
But then we're talking about Jennifer for HR and Tim from accounting.
Yeah, you're right.
The kind of way, bro.
And
How
then
was it?
there's Benjamin.
From
Benjamin's my cousin.
which
but yeah.
which department was Ben?
Ben's probably in IT.
IT. Yo, Ben,
Uh,
you have to treat the IT people good, bro. They
Oh,
sort
yeah,
you out.
you're
They
right.
sort you out with the free Wi-Fi.
You damn right.
All the right programs. Listen to me.
They do everything.
If IT, I keep IT happy, and I make jokes with them and stuff, because if something goes wrong with any of my computers at work, bro, I can't function, bro. They save my life early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So dancing with your colleagues. Tell me about it.
I did not have that in mind in the first place.
Yeah.
I just thought having the dinner, and right after I just head home, and then the co-workers wanted to just say, hey, come along. Well, of course, if it's a guy, I would have said no, but it's the ladies that are asking. So being a guy, I just can't say no. I can't say no.
So my fear is if something My fear is
Something
that
inappropriate.
yeah, but not only that. Like my fear is that my coworkers get extra drunk and start to get a bit weird. That's
Oh,
always the thin line.
you're damn right. You're damn right. One of the coworkers started to get weird. He's Irish. He's not from my office, but he was from a different branch.
Yeah.
And what happened was he got really drunk. He dancing on his own all over the place, and then he kept sending tequilas
To everybody.
to everybody.
So it's like
And
it's like peer pressure drinking now.
Yeah, man, yeah, not necessarily peer pressure. The rest no, but I also notice
You can't send
our
nobody tequila.
coworkers start to feel a little uncomfortable. He kept
Mhm.
sending a tequila.
Yeah,
and-
at some point you're gonna be like, I don't want any more tequila.
but he's like that jolly drunk Irishman,
He's
you know.
happy drunk.
Happy drunk. Yeah, he's happy drunk. He just keeps sending alcohol, and we didn't know how to do. And I spoke to him the most.
Yeah.
I communicated with him at the dinner the most.
Yeah.
And I figured that would be the right thing to convince him to lay down the alcohol,
Yeah.
because he's drunk, and I was there, but I was never that happy drunk guy. I was just drunk, but
said-
he's happy. He's enjoying the moment.
You know what you said? You said something just now that sparked for me, right? This is my observation.
Yeah,
We as in people, we take so much crap just to be polite
yeah,
to other people. For
Oh, yeah.
example, you guys were taking these tequila shots to the point where you guys were like, internally you felt like we don't want any more. You get me? But you don't want to like offend or create
And
a
say no.
create
Yeah.
a situation because this is a nice gesture that he is doing, but like you don't want any more.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
people always get themselves in like trouble just because they're trying to be polite.
yeah.
When if you were just being like a dick,
Well,
you would have felt better.
I guess everybody just didn't want to be killjoys.
Yeah.
And he's really just, he's bouncing around like a rabbit, like on his own. It's weird, but
so it
not wanting to be a killjoy, we just kept. I personally went up to him and say, lay down the alcohol, but he says it's all right, last round, and then
Last round.
and then it's always
Five
the
more
last
rounds.
round.
Five more
Five
rounds.
rounds later, it's
Yeah.
still the last round.
because he's still thinking he's still in the memory of last round
I
the
mean,
first time.
I was not inclined to drink, but some of our colleagues could handle their alcohol better than I am, so they did. They went on drinking. I just said, no, please don't send me drinks.
So that was the low light. Tell me the highlight.
That was highlight too. I mean, it's all fun. It was all fun.
Okay.
Everybody's having fun. Everybody's having a great time. Some senior employees, or rather our senior employees, in their probably 40, 50s, and still end up in the club with us. Probably because, some of our ladies, they were pretty attractive, pretty convincing.
Oh my God.
Pretty convincing. And, I mean, I guess
They want to
there's no
raise.
age limit to go to club. Everybody's just there having a great time together.
Your
It wasn't more
you have
like
a
a-
female boss, right?
Say what?
You have a female boss, right?
My boss?
One of your bosses is female.
My boss? No. My colleagues.
I'm asking you if one of your bosses is female.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yeah. Peep game. If you are at the club, your boss had a few extra drinks, and now she's getting
Getting a little handsy.
a little handsy, and on the inside, she's actually not that bad looking, so you're somewhat attracted to her.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is your senior, this is your boss.
Yeah.
She signs your checks.
Oh, yeah.
So if she comes and gets a little handsy and she whispers in your ear, or if she whispers to you near to the bar, do you want to go to the hotel with me after this? What do you say?
Oof, depending on how...
And she says if you come, you get a raise. If you don't come,
It's dangerous. I mean, knowing the things that I know today,
yeah,
there's a lot of risk involved.
I could never, bro.
And if I'm too young to know about things like these, I would have just said yes. I mean, and let my dick say what it wants to say.
If I'm in that situation, I would be like, I need to leave this. I need to be able to do that and
Yeah.
know that if I leave this job next week, it's not going to affect my life anymore.
You're damn right.
I was already gone, Jennifer.
Well, Jennifer's from accounting, wasn't she?
Oh, yes. No, there's two Jens in the office.
No, the boss would have been called
Jen number one. If you
I would call her. Hmm.
Gwendolyn.
Maybe a Gwen or like a Sabrina. No, Sabrina's an employee.
Long story short, bro. I've always had like.
Maria is Maria a boss?
I've always had like these fantasies of women in high authority,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like fantasies of them like giving me a little,
Oh,
just
shit.
giving me a little inch to test the waters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, it was always like that with hot teachers when I was in high school. I would always think like, oh my gosh, you know, why doesn't she just like say stay back for detention? Or when we were in university, you remember one of our
What's that?
German teachers in
Trying to-
university.
I'm trying to recall a word. Dominatrix. You got
Yeah,
a
well,
dominatrix fantasy.
but not dominatrix where she ties me up, but just like she's in such high authority, but she allows me to allow her to put down her guard for me,
Mm.
and then we just have our moment,
Right.
i.e., in the classroom or in the office when everybody's gone, you know, or in the janitor's closet when everybody's on their lunch break. It's like,
Spending some quality time.
I always had those kind of fantasies, bro. Never happened.
Well, we live in the age of internet. Everybody has that kind of fantasy.
Sometimes alright. Sometimes I hear these stories of like, female teachers that obviously they were caught for pedophilia, or like they were with like teenage boys or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This is not gonna be like what the general public is gonna want to hear, but I'm gonna be like, which boy was complaining, bro?
Which goddamn lucky boy.
If my teacher is peng, bro, if she's hot, I'm like, who was complaining?
Yeah.
Who?
The boys don't complain.
Boys never complain,
Boys
bro.
never complain.
It still is one of my fantasies. No, I can't do it anymore because I have no teachers in my life. Like I'm not young anymore.
You could date a teacher.
Yeah, but it's not the same anymore. It's
Yeah.
not the same. It's not the
Yeah.
same. You get me? But
Maybe
yeah.
20 years your age.
No. So she'd be in her 60s.
She'd be in her 50s maybe.
That's not
She'd be
20 years
50.
my age. Yeah, it's 20. My bad, my bad.
50s.
I put age on myself just now, bro. Yeah, 20 years my age, she'd be in my 50s. In her 50s,
Would you take her 50s? Maybe she's a professor, you know, never know.
She fit.
Well, if she's fit, then might work.
Skin not as tight, but it's fine.
She looking like a granny.
A granny, a sexy granny. Some of the grannies now are peng, bro. Some of them are sexy now, bro. Grand MILF?
I shall keep an open mind.
A grand MILF, my...
Gilf. It's not a
A
grand.
god!
It's called a gilf.
Alright, bro. Alright.
Yeah.
Do we lock it off at that one? Because it's almost 15 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta hit the button.
Rock it off at GILF.
Ah, you do it. Well,
So yeah,
I guess we're not done.
GILF. Speaking of GILFs and MILFs, have you ever had like a...
I have
Woman in
MILF
a-
fantasies. GILF, it's a stretch.
When you say MILF fantasies, you're talking about what type of MILF? There's different types
We're
of
talking.
Let me paint the picture.
baby mamas.
MILF. That's a MILF in general is a baby mama.
Yeah.
Let me paint the picture. Are we talking about young kid, 1 to 3 years old, the husband or the boyfriend just left and the mom is like one
like
this old-
young.
the mom is like
young mom.
trying to balance this mother thing, but at the same time she still has her feminine urges, so she's on like the apps looking for anybody who just wants to satisfy that. Or we talking about like MILF with a teenage daughter,
With a teenage, yeah,
who the teenage daughter has her own life and wants to go and hang
Yeah,
with her
yeah.
friends.
That's
and-
more like the general
yeah.
term being coined.
Okay. So
I think. I don't know.
I remember, bro. What about a cougar?
A cougar in her
Maybe she doesn't
30s.
have a kid, but
No kid, yeah.
40s, 45,
30, 40s, yeah. 40s.
45.
I might,
She has a high position in her job. She drinks Aperol.
I
Um,
might get myself into some crazy feline action. Yes.
Feline action.
Cougar. You call it a cougar?
Okay. I remember when I was like in my mid-20s and I was on a MILF or cougar hunt, bro. There was this one club back home.
Bro,
not club,
Hmm.
but like a pub.
Like a pub.
Bar.
Yeah.
I can't
That's where
remember
they
the
go,
name.
man. That's where they go.
I can't remember the name of it particularly. It was in Port of Spain, the capital of my country,
Right.
and this spot is known for you to find like cougars and milfs, bro. So I used to go,
Shit.
and there was like every Thursday that was their day. I can't remember what was the theme. So in my
Cougar
mind,
night.
yeah. So in my like on Thursdays I would go there after work, sit down, have a drink, and just have a nice whiskey sour, just have a nice scotch,
Right. So
and just like watch around, see if anybody's giving me some attention. If someone has the chest to come and sit down next to me and have a conversation.
anybody bite the bait?
Crickets.
Crickets.
Nothing, boy. No bites.
You
at
were
all.
looking too young of a boy.
I thought that's what they like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So why?
Maybe I wasn't young enough because I was
Mm.
working. Now starting my professional life. Shirt and pants.
Were you in college?
No, I was mid-20s. This was directly after my bachelor's. So like
after
this
bachelor's,
is
right?
like working as a
Right.
graduate architect
You
or
don't-
junior architect.
You don't got that juvenile energy.
She didn't give me a chance to show her that juvenile energy. Yeah.
Interesting. MILFs and MILFs. Cougars and ladies.
What
We
about what about a grand milf?
A grand. That's GILF.
A
It's not
gilf,
a grand
sorry.
MILF.
A gilf. You're right.
Although a grand MILF might be interesting. What? How does a grand MILF look like? Why grand? Why MILF? Grandmother.
She had her kid in her late teens, and her kid had her kid
Right.
in her early 20s, and now she's a hot grandma.
Shit, man.
Mid-60s, looking good. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. A grandma with a BBL.
Ugh. I could not imagine.
Yeah, for real.
It's weird.
interesting.
But hey, everybody's got their own taste.
Yeah, every bread has its butter.
Oh yeah,
I've never had that opportunity yet. For real. Anyway, did
We digressed.
you dance with any of the cool girls?
Yes, I did. I enjoy some dances. It was nice. Well, obviously colleagues are taken, but I try to resist the temptation.
Do you have an office?
But then again, at the end of the day, a dance is a dance, nothing more.
Do you have an office wife?
Office wife. No.
No.
Unfortunately, no. Do you?
No. I don't have an
Office
office
wife?
wife. You never heard that
She
term
bring
before?
me lunches.
Yeah, you never heard that term before?
Nah, man, it's weird.
Really?
She, do
You know what? Do you know what office wife is?
No, like
Or office husband if you were a girl?
like she's like your what, ride or die in the office.
Yeah, she's like that partner you have at the office
Okay.
that you somewhat mildly attracted to, but obviously because you're committed to your real wife or real
When you say mildly
girlfriend.
attracted to, meaning you have interactions more than just
No,
colleagues.
You guys are colleagues. You guys are talking, laughing.
Right.
She knows
Right.
she knows a lot about you. You know a lot about her. You spend lunch together.
Right.
You might buy something and bring it for her when you come to work on a Monday.
Okay.
She's like your office wife. You know?
Right. No.
You're happy when she comes to work.
If she my office wife, she be my wife.
No, bro. I mean, office wife is a serious thing. Like these things,
Shit.
it's a real thing.
If I do have a wife, and then I have somebody that I'm mildly interested in the office, then maybe she's my office wife. But I'm
Yeah.
single.
I know. But I'm saying like
I'll be pursuing that office wife by now.
I would never, bro. Like in the office, as much as for example, we're talking about these office wives, which is just funny. I remember having a lecturer, and he told us when I was like 19 or whatever. He said to the guys, maybe from his own personal experience, he was like, gentlemen, let me give you some advice. He said, don't get your money where you get your honey. And if you ask me what it is I learned from this lecturer on the subject he was teaching, I can't remember a thing, bro. But
what
one
he
thing
said.
I remember from him is don't get your money where you get your honey. Because when it's nice, it's nice. You're getting those lunches, you're having nice conversations, you're getting some nan after work, whatever. Or during work, in the closet, in the janitor's room.
Goddamn.
But if it goes sour, bro, that's too awkward.
It's not
bro.
gonna look good.
Yeah, because you have to see that person every day now.
man.
It's awkward when you walk past them in the hallway or by the copy
Shit.
machine.
But
Yes.
what if you do end up together?
Then it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Then it's wonderful. But
would be nice. But it's a gamble.
you think you could work with your wife?
Whew.
Not like you guys. Not.
You
let
see-
Me, let me paint the picture.
Go.
Not like you guys have an office together. Like you guys are the CEOs. I'm talking about. You think you can work in the same company with your wife?
You see, that's the thing. The social media and the world has painted a picture of troubled romances in the office. But I guess you never know. What we have seen is what we see in the media. Nobody talks about employees getting together, getting married.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
You don't know?
It happens all the time. People
So
meet.
there you
People
go.
meet their spouses at work. But all right.
Romances do happen in office.
Of course, bro. Of
Yeah.
course they happen in the office. I'm
So,
talking about like if you can do
do
it for
I-
life. Like
Do I think?
go home to the same woman, go to work with the same woman.
Could get a little boring because you
That's
see
what I'm
each other every
wondering.
day.
That's that for me. That's my.
But again,
That's
if you do
situation.
love each other, it's not an issue. I think we have made romance such a complicated thing today that we say there must be some kind of condition to meet so that both could be together. Kind of
So you
weird. People say, yeah, just like you said, don't get your money where you get your honey. Don't get your honey where you get your money.
Same thing.
Same.
Potato, potato.
Potato.
Potato, kartoffel.
Kartoffel. Right. On the topic of money and honey. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. You don't know. It's a strange dynamic. Some 21st century, women want to be men. Men want to be women. That's
We should be allowed.
I think
It should be
life.
cool. It should be cool to have a relationship at the office.
I think life has been so complicated that it just makes it weird. But yeah, things happen. Whether I can do it, it's hard to say. I think your question probably could only be answered if both parties have a rather interesting life. Then I don't think that's an issue
With it getting boring.
to get together in the office. I mean, to find romance in the office. At the end of the day, no, both must not be boring individually. They both must have some kind of life outside.
Mm.
So you go to work, you see each other, you work, go home, get a little romance going, and then weekend you do something together, something interesting. I think why some of the relationships crumble in the office could either be competition or boredom. Maybe.
That's a good That's
It's
that's a good point.
it's a very
The
layered
competition,
it's a very layered conversation when it comes to relationships.
or even like, and competition could be
Competition.
in work task, or for example, compensation.
Yeah.
Especially if they're like, for example, if they're of the same level, but one is getting significantly compensated more than the other.
Exactly.
And now the conversation at home is like, why? When you and I do the same thing, or I even do more, but why do you receive more money?
You're
than
right. You're right.
You
People get very narrowed. I mean, you get in a what's that word? Tunnel vision.
Mm.
I think life eventually put us into a tunnel vision. Everything just looks one way, not the other, and it just doesn't work depending on how mature two parties are. But again, we digressed.
No, fuck the digress, bro. If we digress, we digress. It goes.
We still have the National Day to talk about.
Shit. Also, we should talk about our
We digress
countries.
far.
Yeah,
We
still.
digress far. Right.
Okay. Tell me something about
Trinidad, Tobago, and Malaysia. Same country.
Not same country.
Oh, sorry, no. They're different countries, same history, similar.
Similar history.
Similar
As far as colonization.
colonization.
All right. Let's pause there.
We need another round. And we are back.
Yeah. Tell me something about Malaysia that the people may not know and that I don't know.
People in Malaysia, we are generally a very diverse country. I suppose TNT as well, but you would explain your end of the story.
Mm.
The natives were colonized, and then the other, the foreigners, i.e., Indians, Chinese, whatnot, Thai, Vietnamese, were probably brought in by trade.
Mm.
Colonization brought in businesses, exploration, innovation.
Okay.
So, Malaysia, being a very diverse country of nearly 35% of foreigners, with Chinese being 20, Indians being more or less 10, and a 5% of everybody else.
Okay. By us, in TNT, obviously we had the natives,
Yes.
the indigenous people of Trinidad and Tobago. So that's the first group of people that were there, and then due to colonization and enslavement, the second group were like enslaved Africans, and then after slavery was abolished, then they were we had a high import of Indians from India to work on the cane plantations.
Right.
So we have a high percentage of Africans, African history, high percentage of Indian history, and then the rest would be everything in between: Asian, Syrian, you name it, white. So
Right.
like right now, the percentage of Trinidad, if you had to say it in, this is not exact numbers, but like if I had to say it would
Assumption,
be,
yes.
yeah, it would be like about 40% Afro heritage, 40% Indo heritage, and then that's 80. The rest is mixed. Yeah, it's actually our country's a little different. For example, when I meet
Predominantly Afro-Indian, I would assume.
predominantly Afro Indian, even down to the political parties.
Hmm.
Since I was a child, since my parents were children, predominantly Afro political party and predominantly an Indo political party. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of hybridization, meaning like people intermingle and intermix. It's not even frowned upon. It's not strange. It's only frowned upon, for example, very traditional parents, from either a class perspective, high class, low class, or race perspective, or religion perspective, or political perspective. Basically, four things that always divides people.
I think one thing that history taught us is that many unconventional beliefs were frowned upon.
People hate what they can't conquer, and they fear what they don't understand. That came from Nas.
You're damn right.
The philosopher Nostradamus.
Oh, I thought I heard you say Nas.
Yeah, Nostradamus. Is
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
I thought that was Lil Nas X.
Actually, I don't even know. Maybe Lil Nas X has some quotes.
Maybe,
but,
I don't know.
I'm a Nas fan.
You're a Nas
not
fan.
Lil Nas
Not
X.
Lil Nas.
Even though he does have some bangers though.
Yes, he do. Yes, he does.
Bangers, but I'm a big Nas fan. Yeah.
Cool.
Something about TNT that you probably didn't know, and maybe the public as well doesn't know. We are the southernmost island in the Caribbean chain of islands. We were the mainland was connected to Venezuela, and then naturally over time the geography, the land separated from Venezuela. You can see the country of Venezuela from Trinidad on a clear day.
All right.
Yeah. So you could
neighbors. You like neighbors?
We are neighbors. There have been incidents where there's documentation that people have swam. Well, they say people have swam from Venezuela to Trinidad, like to seek refuge or whatever. But I don't know how you're doing that. It's still a large.
It's not impossible. Physically swimming over across a strait.
Bro, it's the middle of the ocean. It's tides.
Hey.
It's aquatic animals. It's exhaustion. It's dehydration.
Hey.
How you?
Humanity is very creative when it comes to struggles.
Yeah, we actually are.
Well,
We're very resilient.
People get creative when it comes to struggles.
You're damn right.
So anything can happen, Political struggle is always a terrible place to be in, and I think just to swim across the strait would not be too bad of an idea.
All right, so let me paint a scenario. You're trying to escape wherever you are. Let's not even talk about lands right now. Let's say you are in a situation, you're on a deserted island, there was a plane crash. You are the only survivor, right?
Yes.
You're on a little deserted island. You've eaten all your rations that you could find.
Keep going.
You see a mainland. You can see the mainland. There is a huge river separating. Oh, not river. Sorry.
A strait. They call it.
There's not a river because then it's considered an island if there's a river.
No, it's called a
separating.
strait. A strait. That it's an ocean that cuts between a mainland and
Okay, so
and
there's
an
a strait.
island. A strait.
Okay.
Strait.
There's a strait. You have to swim across the strait, but you are known because you've done your history and your geography that this particular area has a very high population of tiger sharks.
Okay.
Yeah? But you're hungry and you need to get to the mainland because you have very little rations to work with on this small island. It's been 4 days, bro. Nobody has come for you yet. You have no radio, you have no flare gun. All you have is your wits and maybe some palm trees.
Understood. Keep going.
Do you swim?
Hey, did you mention palm trees?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get creative.
You swimming across that tiger shark infested ocean straight.
I would.
Yeah?
I mean, like you say, if I can somehow harvest some kind of material to build a boat or like a floating device, yeah, why not? If there's nothing at all, shit. I mean,
It's
tough
kinda,
luck.
it's kind of unlikely to be on a little deserted island. There's nothing at all.
Damn right. So
But are you ingenuitive enough to create a flotation device to get you across?
I think anybody could do it. I believe so.
You think you're made for that?
Yeah.
Yuki versus Wild.
Yuki versus wild. Human versus wild.
You,
Anybody.
So you'll survive.
I think desperation can bring people to places.
Yeah. I definitely agree, bro. Yeah.
You damn right.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. A tiger shark would make me think 4 times about going into that water, but I have to really be in a low,
Would you like to die hungry?
die hungry or die from shark attack.
Yeah. Tough choice, man. Tough
Let me
choice.
think about it. Die hungry. How long can a human body go without food?
Well, I don't know, man.
We can go a while without food, but we can't go a while without water.
There are people talking about how the human body could withstand long enough.
I know that the human body can go a very long time without food,
Yeah.
but not a very long time without water.
Without water. Yeah.
All right, so
So either way
death
you
by
die. man.
starvation or death by
Thirst.
no shark attack.
Shark attack.
Where
My
you get
bad.
thirst from? Oh yeah.
Yeah, what thirst? Without water.
I think I'm gonna. Is it mating season?
Bro, no, it's mate or don't mate, they're the same. They're aggressive species.
Answer my question. Is it mating season?
I don't know. Yes, maybe, yes.
It's mating season, so the males are performing. They're showing off. They're
Yeah.
peacocking.
I think they might be busy.
I think I'm gonna.
Oh, you
I'm
die.
gonna-
You die a
I'm-
quick death.
I'm.
Bro,
You die a quick.
I am a man of quick death,
quick
not slow death.
A shark is gonna bite you and you're gonna bleed out.
Yeah,
bro.
that lasts probably 5 minutes. You die of hunger, that's gonna be hours.
Do you
You're
know-
gonna be
do-
in pain for hours.
Do you know how sharks attack?
Oh yeah,
Sharks.
they
if-
chew you.
Yeah, but sharks don't just. All right, unless they definitely know that you are prey.
Yeah.
If they are unsure, they do a test bite,
Right.
and if they like what they test, then they come back for a big bite.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like,
you're right.
can you imagine that moment in between the test bite and the shark deciding, could do it a bit more salt, and then he says, "All right, I'm going back."
Right.
I think I'll have to film it, bro. I'll fight the I'll definitely try for the shark. There's so many videos about
Shark
You know,
attacks.
shark attacks, yeah, but they also have so many videos now on social media about where if you're in the water and a shark comes towards you, where to hit it, try to get the nose and try to direct it away from you. I'm not saying that I'm gonna
Yeah,
do this
yeah, yeah.
perfectly like how those people on Instagram do it.
Knowledge might help. You might even
Yeah.
survive a shark attack.
I'm carrying something to stab it in the eye.
Yeah.
I'm carrying something, bro.
Oh yeah.
And if that shark kills me, best believe that last bite, that shark has to be stabbed somewhere, bro. He's
Somewhere.
not going to enjoy
Yeah.
eating me. He's going to be like, this was a very tough piece of meat.
This was a
Yeah.
this was a bad meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring a little wooden shard from the palm tree. Just bring it along.
I would shit myself,
Poke it
bro.
like a shiv, you know. Bring a shiv.
Can you? And visibility is also not so good because we have no goggles or
Yeah,
nothing.
you're right. You're
The
right.
ocean is dark blue, bro.
You be watching the fin
The
above the
dorsal,
water.
bro.
Dun 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 dun.
Which bro.
Jaws.
So I've never seen a shark. I've swam with sharks, but like on like vacation trips and whatnot.
Right.
But there was this one time in my country. Naturally, we have the mainland, but off the mainland we have small islands. We call it down the islands in Trinidad. Down the islands is a very very small islands off the mainland, which is still considered Trinidad.
Yeah.
But like people have beach houses there, like the elite, the upper class have like beach houses there that they rent out, villas that you could rent for a weekend and you could have parties there or whatever, right? So it's only accessible via boat. So you have to get a boat to drop you there. You carry all your rations with you, so you're there for the weekend at this house.
Right.
And there's a dock, so people hang out on the dock during the daytime. They go swimming, they dive off the dock and they go swimming into the ocean or whatever. I remember I was in this donut, these donut flotation devices,
Right.
and your boy in the donut. I'm in the ocean, like sitting down in the donut, just like laying. But I don't know if you know, but the water in Trinidad and Tobago, especially on Trinidad island side, is not like what people think of the Caribbean with these beautiful blue crystal waters. It's actually very
Murky.
not murky. It's more green.
Right.
It's because of the Gulf of Mexico. Like I said, Trinidad is the last country in the Caribbean chain. So our water there's a bit green.
And
Yeah.
unclear.
Yeah, it's difficult to see, low
Right.
visibility. So I remember being in the water in my donut, looking up in the sky, giving thanks to the Lord Almighty for life, And Yuki,
Yeah.
I see the water literally lift up and splash.
Splashed.
All the time I was just looking up in the sky. Now I'm like alert,
Right.
and I'm like, what the hell was that? Because it was a big splash.
Big splash.
But naturally, I'm thinking shark. I'm thinking Jaws.
Mm.
So I try to paddle, which is actually not good with sharks. You should not create a commotion because sharks are attracted
Do
to.
not panic.
Yeah, sharks are attracted to the splashing. But I didn't know. So I try to paddle very quickly back to the dock. Get quickly to the dock. When I jump up on the dock, what do I see? A massive
Jellyfish.
manta ray. Jellyfishes
Ooh.
can't splash. It's a manta ray
Yeah, just
with a huge
imagining
wingspan,
things.
bro. And the wingspan is when it was like near to the surface and just
Right,
slapping
yeah.
the top of the water.
slapping.
But a manta ray is black on the surface
Yeah, white.
and white
White
underneath.
belly.
So remember I just told you that our water, the visibility is not that good.
Mm.
So this thing was swimming right next to me and
It's
I
like a
didn't even
UFO.
see it. I didn't even see it, bro. That was massive, bro. I remember that vividly. I screamed, bro. Screamed. Like, people talking about going to space. The world underwater, there's so much that I personally haven't experienced. It's like,
Neither do many people.
the manta ray probably was looking up at me like, what is this? Let me just swim around it and check it out. Obviously, it's harmless, but still.
You never know. Once it takes a swing with its tail, you'll be stabbed.
Manta rays,
Oh, right.
manta
You're
rays don't
right,
have
you're right.
manta rays don't have
I don't know.
stingrays. Those are stingrays.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And yet again, we digress. We digress. National Day, August 31st.
Yeah.
Trinidad, Tobago, and Malaysia. We share the same Independence Day.
All right. What do you guys do for Independence Day?
We go on the streets and parade. Do
Yeah.
you?
For Independence, we go out at night and we watch fireworks. And there's
Yeah.
a military parade every morning. And there's
Same.
And we do the same.
Yeah.
We have a parade on the streets and we play music. We have a national instrument from Trinidad and Tobago. It's
Right.
called the steel drum, the steel
Yeah.
pan.
Similar. I think Malaysia, we do have some kind of a drum or pan, some kind of percussion.
Mm.
But obviously not the same, but similar.
Yeah, but Trinidad made this instrument.
Mm.
It's from Trinidad, and
Right.
we play it on the streets, obviously with other musical instruments.
Mhm.
But we do have a parade, and then at night people go to watch fireworks.
Right.
Yeah. In Malaysia, do you guys go watch fireworks as well?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's almost the same, really, and it's quite impressive. Knowing the fact that well, probably across the world where the English have colonized, yeah, might be a coincidence that we both share the same Independence Day.
Hmm. Maybe. I was surprised when I found out that.
I mean, the British can't possibly let go everybody at once.
At the same time, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's cool.
But it's cool. We could at least. It would be nice to say I could celebrate Independence Day with
me,
a Trinidadian.
With a Trini.
Yeah.
Fun fact that I learned about Malaysia: you guys have the smallest bear in the world in your rainforest, the sun bear, which looks like a little dog.
Read about it. Never knew that it's the smallest. I thought it would grow.
It's like the size of a dog.
Yeah.
Because they live in trees.
Right.
And they are sadly being driven to extinction because of deforestation.
Yes. I think so.
Exotic pet exploitation. People catching.
Probably royalties taking up sun bears as pets. We don't know. We'll never know. There are exotic pet trades that seek out for exotic pets, and sun bear being a very strange specimen, and also because they're small, so maybe that would be a go-to for pets. It's cute.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
It's adorable.
Younger, it is actually very adorable. When I was younger, I really wanted to have like a mini personal zoo. It's only when I got older I realized that's not really nice. But I wanted all types of animals. I remember asking my parents. So. I asked my parents, can I have a snake? Can I have an iguana? Can I have a...
I want a croc.
A croc? What are you going to do with a crocodile?
I don't know. In my pond, chilling.
Just chilling?
Yeah. I'm feeding chicken wings.
Do you guys have crocodiles in Malaysia?
Yes, we do. Freshwater crocodile.
Yeah?
Probably, yeah. But they're probably not... They're not as gigantic as... Saltwater crocs or whatever that exists in the Amazon, in the Nile River, whatever you call it.
In the Nile River, there's Nile crocodiles.
Nile crocodiles, yeah. They're big.
In TNT, we have a member of the crocodilian family, but it's called a caiman.
Ah, yeah, caiman.
It's smaller.
Yeah.
Still packs a punch.
Mm-hmm. Still gives a nasty bite.
I remember like when we would have, I don't know, you can tell me about Malaysia, but like in Trinidad and Tobago, there's a certain time of year, every summertime in the Caribbean, there's a hurricane season, right? Because of the temperatures changing.
Right.
There's always hurricanes in the Caribbean, August, September time, and there's more rain. And when there's more rain, obviously there's floods time to time. Where I live, there's a river, a ravine nearby. Whenever it flooded badly, the river obviously would burst the banks. And the caimans, you would see them come up.
Yeah. It happens. I mean, the territory expands.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be strange to be like on your way home, driving home, and you just like see a caiman on the side of the road, you know? But people eat it in my country as well.
Yeah. I read about it, but back home, I'm not so aware of eating the crocodile.
Alligator meat is known
to
be like one of a delicacy.
Many parts of the world, except my country, I don't know what to do about it. Neither is it a
sort of a delicacy.
Yes, and also common. Yeah. I mean, we do have alligators or crocodiles or whatever you call them. I don't know exactly what kind of species. But they do exist in my country. Could be a smaller one. I don't know which is smaller.
So we need to find out.
Crocodile?
The crocodile is the largest.
Oh, so probably an alligator. But it does exist in my country, and I suppose it's not at a number where people would look at it as food. Because people don't farm them.
I mean, no, we call it wild meat
Yeah,
at
wild
home.
meat.
Like, people
Yeah.
don't farm caimans in my country either.
Right.
But if you catch a caiman, if you're a hunter and you catch a caiman, they might eat it.
Yeah,
I've
I
eaten
think
it.
so too.
I've eaten it.
In some parts of the country, maybe deep in the hills, mountains, little villages,
I have a caiman skull in my home.
that would be very cool.
Yeah, this gonna turn dark, but a caiman. My neighbor used to rear chickens, right? So he had a little
Right.
he had a little chicken coop, and like I just told you, there's a river near to where I live. So the caiman would like smell the chickens, and there's this one caiman that came up one night out of the river, and made his way to my neighbor's yard. How we knew this? Because the dogs in the neighborhood, my dog as well, when I was younger, was barking all night. Yeah, it's not like dogs here in Germany that are silent. Our dogs, they make noise
Right.
to raise alarm. And early in the morning, people getting ready to go to work, getting ready to go to school, and then they look outside, and now we see what the dogs have been barking at. There's a caiman in the road. So like we shoo it away. It runs back to the river or whatever, and then everybody goes on to the regular day. We come back home after a long day of school or work. What do we see still in front of my neighbor's house? The caiman.
The caiman. The dog's gone.
No, the dog. Oh my god, the dog. My dog is still there.
Right.
My dog is barking at the caiman in front of my neighbor's gate.
Right.
So
The caiman ended up in front of your door.
no, my neighbor he has a licensed hunting rifle,
Mm-hmm.
and he shot the caiman.
Right.
And then obviously he shot it, he came down, he cleaned the area because there's blood, you can clean it up. And I've always wanted to have a skull of, not like a human or something, not Jeffrey Dahmer, but like I've always like wanted to have like a animal skull, but not like I'm hunting it. So I asked my neighbor, "What are you gonna do it?" Because he ended up cooking it. Yeah, but he ended up eating it. But I asked him, "What are you gonna do with the skull?" He's like, "I don't know, throw it in the river or something." I was like, "May I have it?" So he cuts off the head. However, he cuts it off and he gives me the head. But this is a real
Head.
This is just the head.
Yeah.
So now I need to figure out
How
do I process this, preserve this, blah
Yeah,
blah blah,
yeah.
and be respectful to the dead animal. My dad, I called him. He was home, and I'm telling him, "Dad, I really would like to have this skull," and he was like, "Your mother is not going to let you come into the house with this." I was like, "Dad, please." Like, convince her, like, I would really like to do this. Can you help me do this? She's like, "Daniel, I don't know how do we do this?" So naturally, I'm outside still, and I have a caiman head in my hand,
Right.
and I'm trying to figure out,
Like a little kid with a
like, how am I gonna do
skull
this?
in
How
hand.
am I gonna do this? Instantly, what do you do now as millennials and Gen Zs or Gen X, whatever? You go on the internet to find out what do you do.
What to do? Yeah. Internet tells you everything.
And I don't know about you, I don't really Google as much. I go straight to YouTube all the time.
Right.
YouTube has taught me so many things. So
Like
on
everybody.
YouTube now, it's telling you options of using beetles to naturally
Decompose.
decompose, but that takes time.
Yeah.
I don't have beetles.
Yeah.
There's another way now where you can
Chemical.
and boiling, like you just boil it in a hot.
Just like you cooks.
Yeah,
cook.
like you cook meat.
Yeah.
You use soap, and you boil it.
Right.
So when you put the soap in the water and you boil it, then after when you take the head out, all the meat and the skin just
Fall
peels off, right? But what they don't tell you is that it's a skull, yeah, but skulls isn't like one bone.
Exactly.
Skulls are
Have nooks.
little
nooks
that are fused together.
You're
But
right.
when you boil it, cartilage that fuses these bones together, obviously
They don't come off easily.
the cartilage melts away.
Right.
So now you have little pieces of the skull that are just separated now. So what I didn't know is that after you basically deconstruct the meat from the head and you pull off the meat, you have to now glue and let it cool, and that's how these skulls get this nice kind of white color
Right. Yeah.
because of the chemical that you use, liquid soap and whatever, baking soda and whatnot. And then now you have to, when it cools down, you have to glue the
Yeah,
skull.
you
You
have
have
to
to basically
glue-
build it back up.
You're right.
So, like, how you learn something by dismantling it? Like, you
Yeah.
learn a gadget by dismantling
Yeah,
it
yeah,
and then
yeah.
rebuilding it.
Yeah.
I learned so much about
The animal.
the anatomy.
Mm.
Where how big is the brain? I learned that how easily it is for the teeth to fall out, because the teeth are always changing in the crocodilian family and sharks as well.
You're right.
Not like our teeth that are fixed until we get old and just fall out.
Yeah.
So, like, I learned a lot about this animal while trying to preserve its skull, and I still have the skull up to today.
Damn. You got a picture?
Of the skull, my dad always sends it every time to time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I did have some strange adventures about collecting skulls, of animal skulls. I don't necessarily look for them, but I find them in the wild. They're
Dama.
decomposed. They're not necessary. They're not intact. They don't have meat and whatnot.
Hmm.
So I'll just pick them up, take them home, and my
Yeah.
parents would ask me if I'm performing a witchcraft.
How did it smell?
They smell earthy on the ground in the forest.
Hmm.
Just take it.
Do you remember particularly what type of animal?
Birds, cat skull, dog skull.
A dog skull.
That's strange enough. I don't know. It looks like a canine skull, but I don't know.
What killed the dog?
I'm not sure. Wild dogs,
Car
stray
accident?
dogs, probably,
Hmm.
probably. But again, my parents frown upon me, and they just suspect that I do some strange things with the skulls. But at the end of the day, no, I just kept it as a collection.
So
I
how
can't,
did-
but
how-
I did
how did-
boil it with salt water for a
So you
while.
cleaned it.
Just, I mean, yes.
So if I go to your bedroom now, back home, if I visit you in Malaysia now, would I enter a room full of skulls?
No, the cat skull and the dog skull are probably gone, I think.
Probably. Who got rid of them? Your
My
mom.
parents, yeah. But my bird skull is still small, and it's looks fairly sanitized, so they weren't questioning. But the dog and the cat skull
I could see how that would freak out.
had a
someone.
little mold in it, so it had,
Oh, you didn't
they have to
clean it
go.
properly.
They have to go. I tried,
I could see how that would freak out some
but I
parents,
thought
though.
the bird was the coolest, so I kept it. Yeah.
Paleontology.
Paleontology,
Isn't it the study of bones?
I think so. Not sure. I thought paleontology was a study of uh what's that word? Things to do with dinosaurs, of ancient
Yeah.
bone artifacts, but not exactly
Yeah, the branch of science
No.
concerned with fossil animals and
fossils.
plants.
Fossils, yes, that's
A
right.
skull is a fossil.
A skull is not a fossil. A fossil is something of date of long history. Something of history. Something that died the past few weeks is not part of history. Well, if you look at it that way.
Is a skull a fossil?
No, a fossil meaning something that existed thousands of years.
Okay.
Anything that exists of an ancient time frame is a fossil.
Okay.
But I see we're at a 1 hour mark right now, and
I think that's it.
we're gonna talk more next
So-
time.
So in today's, as we wrap up, we would like to just say, clean your skulls.
Yeah, man. I should. I would try, but
No, not for you. For them.
for them. Clean your skulls.
Clean your skulls.
Yes. Find the best way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's the right way, but boil as much as you can
And
till it's clean.
and
Till it
that-
doesn't smell funky.
and if that shark is coming, just hope that
Don't
it's
panic.
just hope that it's a quick death.
Yes. Quick,
Yeah.
or don't panic, and hope that it goes.
Yeah. All right, we wrap.
We wrap.
We wrap up.